Hey kids! Oh, is this a weekday night? What day is it? Tuesday? Hi. Thanks for being here. Oh, we have all my faves up in here already. We got Crack is Whack. Hi, baby. It's good to see you. That's me. Get me off of there. We have our Lob 2's most hated mod. Hello, my love. We have Drew K. Hi, mama. My beautiful girl. Yeah, Crack Drew K. All right, Calypso. Hey. All right. Well, am I live, right? Am I live? Am I live, kids? Um, can you hear me? Can you see me? So I wanted before like information starts getting crazy, with the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case, because stuff is just like coming out right, left, and sideways. I wanted to right here is the young girl Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was found deceased in the Tesla of the man to her side. That man or boy, man, no, he's a fucking man. He's a grown ass man messing with little kids, allegedly. So he is his name, he goes by the name David, D4VD. And he made a fortune on the YouTubes. Am I loud? Am I loud? Sorry. Oh, why didn't no one else said anything, Scott? Yeah, exactly. 20 years old. He's a man. Hi, dog mom. Good to see you, mama. David is he made a fortune on YouTube being a Fortnite content creator, and then started doing his own music. And he then, I don't know, he got picked up by a music record label, Interscope Records, and his life took off, right? He was just a simple boy from Texas, homeschooled, and then struck it big. But he has a little perversion. He has a thing for little kids. He has a thing for little children. And Celeste here died at 14 years old. Was found deceased in. Oh, hold on. Okay, wait. Time out. I'm going to do a humble brag really quick. So my boy comes home from school today with a library book. It's the Minecraft Mobs in the Mansion book. Okay. It has 32 pages in it. He read the entire book to me. I only had to help him with like 3 words. I was blown away. Guess who's getting a Walmart or Target trip tomorrow? He is. Unbelievable. He read me 32 pages of a reading level 1st to 3rd grade. Humble brag. I'm so proud. And he makes me smile and so happy every single day. And he read me 32 pages, kids. So there's that. Okay, here you go. Oh, you want to say bye? Bye. Yeah, everyone's saying, way to go. Nice job, Kay. All right, back to what I was saying. Okay, so David has an affliction. He likes young girls. And so he met, supposedly, allegedly met Celeste on his Discord search. Huh?
I need help.
Oh, 1605. He met this young 11-year-old girl at the time. Oh, hey, Fat Dazzer. It's good to see you, honey girl. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I was so proud. He had a Discord server like a lot of YouTubers have. And apparently he had maybe, you're not the first person I've seen say that before. In all of my digging, I've seen other people say that too, which is like wild. So his Discord server was for originally his gaming crew, his gaming situation, because apparently that's like a really popular thing within the gaming industry. I had their
It's what?
Hold on one second. Kid's trying to jailbreak my phone. Amy, I need a brain face. Oh, perfect time, bro. Thank you for joining us. Oh, and Patrick comes in. Hi, honey bunny. Listen, you know I love you. You're one of my faves, kid, but like you're cruising for a bruising. You're lucky you're all that way. Yeah, fuck yeah, Red Sox. Exactly. Exactly. Where was I? I'm so distracted. I have a lot going on. Okay. So, David, Discord. Oh, my son is my roll dog. Like he calls me bro. Like he's like, bro. He's 5. Um, he is. He's my little man. He's my little dude. So okay, Discord. Baby, concentrate. He had a Discord for his gaming community. Well, apparently he only really liked when like young girls became members. That was said by some of his gaming community on Discord. A lot of stuff was said from people who were a part of his Discord for many years. Okay. For many years. Okay. Hold on one second. Sorry. Thank you. He liked the young girl. So he met her on his Discord. She was 11 years old at the time. I put a 1 in the chat if you were here with me on Sunday, so I don't have to like go through all of this. I know that most of you guys were. Yeah. I mean, he's like, bruh. I'm like, no, my name's mommy. And it's already like not even mommy anymore. He'll be like, mom. Or, I call my mother Ma. And so occasionally he'll be like, Ma. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Huh? Oh, you guys, I have to just get him some coloring paper. 1 second. Can you? Your girl is back. All right. Hopefully, I'm good now. All right. So, all right, you guys, I think most of you guys were. I mean, you guys are like my ride or dies. Okay. So, in any case, there have been updates since we last. Caden. There have been updates since then. Now, we finished the last stream with I don't really feel bad for the parents. Like something told me something was going on. The fact that like they reached out to TMZ instead of law enforcement, they like how do you not know where your like baby, your like little kid is? It just all seemed to be fucking weird. Okay. And another thing we all started talking about was whether we thought the motive for her going missing in the front trunk of the Tesla was that she was pregnant, right? We also talked about how him and his camp have not said a thing since the whole thing happened 3 weeks ago, right? No one said anything. I get why he hasn't, because if he has good lawyers, they're like, you're not talking to anybody. Like they can come get you and arrest you, but you're not going to talk. But like everybody else, like you're going to really? That's your choice? That's your choice? So in any case, there's updates. This is not going to be the longest live because I only have like small clips, but we can get a lot of our answers that we were asking on Sunday answered before this coming Sunday, that we'll have like a full 2-hour episode. Hi, Sarah Dawn. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you, Mama. Yeah. Yeah, right. No, I'm being interrupted right, left, and sideways. Okay. So let's do this. Our first one is going to be this. This is Down the Rabbit Hole News. I will put her link to this video, and you guys can go over and subscribe if you haven't already. She's really good with true crime. This is Down the Rabbit Hole News. She's awesome. But we're going to go ahead and start this.
Dead in David's Tesla. This is a report, okay? So a new report states that the 15-year-old Celeste Rivas was not pregnant at the time she was found dead. Her death certificate lists the cause of death as deferred, pending the results of a toxicology report. The LAPD is not interested at the stage of the investigation. Now, this is what we know so far. According to the Rivas Hernandez death certificate, and this is something that was obtained by TMZ, the 15-year-old's cause of death is deferred as the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiners continues to investigate the circumstances of her death. An autopsy was performed, but the medical examiner is waiting for the results of a toxicology report, the publication's report. The teen was not pregnant, according to the death certificate. Despite earlier reports, she was expecting. This was a lot of speculation that a lot of us had. The Los Angeles Police Department Rivas's cause of death. At this point, it has not been established if the teen's death was a result of foul play. We don't know yet, or other causes such as a drug overdose. So the full autopsy report.
So I'm stopping it already. She only has like a minute or so left, but like I'm floored. Okay, so she hasn't been pregnant all year. Okay, because the medical examiner said that if she had been pregnant in the past year, that she would have had some type of like hormones or something in her system all year round that would have showed that she had been pregnant. Hey, Footy. Hello. That she would have been pregnant within the past calendar year. So she has never not been pregnant this year. Okay. So that was something. So now we're like, okay, now I'm thinking, well, then what's the motive, right? What's the motive to unalive her other than your music career is going to be up and popping now, and you don't want it to ever get out that you're a pedo, allegedly? Listen, I know some channels don't like to speculate. I am Speculation Station, and I'm judgy as hell. I judge certain things, and this is one of them. I don't. No one should go real life. No one should try to contact these people. No, like let the authorities do what they need to do, whatever they're doing. Not sure, but let them do it. But I'm judging. I'm fucking judging. It gets worse, right? And also, hold on. Yeah. Everyone's saying hi, even Drew. How are you, Footy? Hold on. I'm going to keep going. I lost my train of thought.
Is crucial in moving the investigation forward. According to the medical, which we've seen this, and her date of death was September 8th. That's when her body was found. A lot of us believe that she probably died way before that. Clearly, her manner of death was listed as a homicide. TMZ reports that the LAPD is not
all day today. I've been looking at, watching things for updates and everything like that. Do you know what's fucking wild to me too? So so the medical examiner said that nothing physically about the body that may or may not have been in pieces, tells her how this little girl died. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. But what is a toxicology report going to say other than she OD'd or she had drugs in her system? And then what? Like, are you saying that she overdosed and David or somebody found her, accidentally unalived herself, and they decided to, oh, now, and that's another thing too. I remember I said that they were backtracking on the whole dismemberment thing. Well, apparently that's still a thing, and they're saying this little girl was dismembered, her arms and her legs. Trigger warning. Her arms and her legs were not were not together on her body, and she was like a head and a torso, and a lot of her liquefied, unfortunately. So they're saying like, oh, maybe she overdosed and they hacked her up and put her in the, like, what, like, under no circumstances do I think that happened at all. I don't know what happened, but like, did they check the hyoid bone? Like, do we need to have another medical examiner take a look at this information that this medical examiner did? I have questions. I have so many questions. So the medical examiner says there's nothing physically that can tell them why she died, right? And I come to find out, I don't know. I don't know if Worst Mod is still in here. Scott, are you still in here? So if anyone gets charged with anything, the dismemberment and concealing a body, I don't think, no, I mean, but okay, if it's not an overdose and they have nothing physical to say, like there was no gunshot wound, supposedly, there was no, I mean, can you just tell if, like, if you're getting, like, getting the knife, or, the high, I don't know. Why go to, right, exactly, Footy, like, why go, and then they're saying, like, a dismemberment and the concealing of the body would get someone up to a year in prison and a $10,000 fine in California. What? So you're telling me that anyone can go and off somebody however whatever fancy way they think of, that is not going to have a physical marking, dismember them and discard them like trash, and they're going to get maybe up to a year in jail and a $10,000 fine in California? I don't know if that's like that everywhere, but I was taken aback. Like, doesn't that seem like so little? I believe this girl, it was a homicide. And the LAPD did confirm, actually, that they are investigating this as a homicide. So, they could do it. So, no, right, right. No, but she was wrapped in plastic. She was wrapped up in plastic. So someone had to, and they dismembered her. Like, why? So if you found a dead body in the trunk, why she would get in there, I don't know. You found the dead body, and then you took them out of the trunk to dismember, then put it back in the same trunk and left it. I don't know. I got a lot of questions. Someone did say that he's getting framed. I don't know. I still have a hard time with that one too. I have a hard time thinking that he was who's in a frame. We're gonna get to, actually, someone spoke out. We're gonna get through rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole news. Go over. I put the link in the chat. Go over and sub to her if you are not subbed. I love her.
If we are to go by what this is being reported as, then that she was not pregnant. Remains and excavations, and a lot of us were trying to figure out, well, where and when did this happen? Because this whole situation is that apparently David was possibly notified about the Tesla trunk being open. So, and I know that this goes
Oh
with the
yeah, this
app
was
and with the
interesting
key and all
too.
this other stuff. But this is what TMZ is reporting. David could have been notified about open.
Right,
David has
this.
not been named as a suspect in the Celeste Rivas death, but many are wondering how her body ended up in his trunk, especially since the Tesla he drives
That's another
can
thing.
send a
Thank you,
notification
Bad
about being
Dazzer.
open.
Okay, so she just made me think of something, a great fucking point. So, like, okay, even if he didn't unalive this girl, even if he didn't, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he didn't do this, and one of his whole like one of his crew did, all right, or she went off and got really fucking unlucky, and they were like, "I'm gonna show your boyfriend, and I'm gonna cut you up and put you in his trunk." Fuck him, right? If you had like a bad um beef with someone or whatever. Okay. I don't think that happened, but let's just say this man is a pedophile. This man likes children. He's a man. He's 20 something years old. Okay. I think they're nearly 6 years apart. So if she just turned 15 and she was 14 when she passed, that makes him 20, almost 21 because she just turned 15. No matter how you slice that relationship, no matter in what chunks, all wrong. Because when he met her, people confirm from his Discord that have known him, even his friends, that they were like talking since she was 11. Who looks at a child and says, like, yep, that's it. That's what I want. Like, what? Oh my God. All right, guys, let's get through this one. I have
Directly
like
to his
4
phone.
small clips
See,
tonight.
I didn't know that. I'm not a Tesla driver, so I didn't know it did that. Here's in the 2023 Model Y Tesla has moved beyond the standard key and fob, with many using a Tesla app to open and drive the vehicle. Okay, a trunk open. The app's chock full of helpful features, including the
Mhm.
ability to send a push
Yep.
notification to your car if you leave your
Yep.
trunk
He's been an
open
adult for
for
years
more than
at this
10
point.
minutes. So if someone was loading Celeste's body in the car and it took about it, to be clear, we don't know for a fact David does have notifications on, or even if he has the app. You can purchase a regular key fob from Tesla, which just needs to be on your person when you go to the door. And the car also comes with key
I
cards,
mean, look at the
which
way
can
he
unlock
treated
the
the fucking
vehicle
thing.
as well.
I'd be
Obviously, the
surprised if he
Tesla is
had
loaded
all
with
this.
the security camera, dash cam cameras on the sides of the vehicle that activate if in Sentry mode. Obviously, the Tesla's loaded up with cameras too, but I think you have to pay for that service. Dash cam and cameras on the side of the vehicle that activate
That poor
if
girl,
in
she looks
Sentry
like a
mode.
baby.
Sentry mode turns the cameras on, turns the cameras of the vehicle on even while parked. If a threat is detected or the vehicle sensors determine there is a jerky move, like when getting towed or shaken, according to the Tesla. However, Sentry mode is disabled by default, and you need Tesla's USB flash drive plugged in to record around the clock. And again, we don't know if David had this
Did
setting
he
in
have
or if he
all
had
of
the
these bells and whistles? Because if you look at the car and the condition that it was in, whether it was $104,000 or not, like he shit on this car. Like it had bang bangs, it had like dents and nastiness and scratches and this. He's a young man, right? A young man, not child. She's a child. He's a young man. I know guys that like treat their sneakers better, right? So I don't know if he had all those bells and whistles, but I do know that, I mean, not that I have a Tesla, but I've heard that Teslas will like let you know if someone's like too close or there's like a threat, or so they're saying basically that he may have been, hey, Rosie. Right, exactly. I mean, who knows, right? Well, I mean, why would you buy the car if you didn't do your research on it and you didn't know what it offered and then didn't use said offerings, right? Like, why even have a Tesla? What's the point, right? Just to say you have one. Hi, Wayne. Good to see you, baby. But if he does have it, okay, if he did have it and say he didn't do it, right? So like OJ's book, If I Did It, if he didn't do it, that he would have been notified with video that someone else was in his car and who else was using his car, right? Because they're like, well, did he leave the car um for her? No, I don't believe that he would. Like, she's not even old enough to drive, right? So why would he leave his $100,000 car with a young girl that can't even drive? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like I said, I know dudes who treat their fitteds and their white sneakers better than this boy treated this car. But that doesn't mean anything. Like, did he I will say, I don't know if it's going to come up in one of the other couple of videos I have for us to go, that the LAPD confirmed that they do have video footage from the car. I think from Tesla themselves. So I don't know if like the cams work anyway. I don't know. So, but I guess if LAPD said that they have footage, then maybe he did pay for that Century package and had it, but he would have been notified that there was fuckery going on in his car. And you wouldn't have asked, you wouldn't have reported it stolen if you didn't know the people or what was going on. I have fucking questions. I have questions, kids. I have so many questions. It is a disgusting case, Rosie.
Would allow him to review the footage. Guys, like, it leaves wonder, but it got a notification while it was on tour. Or maybe
right
while he was present when this happened to Celeste. I don't know, guys. I have a lot of questions about this. Like, this is a whole
that would make
different
sense.
kind of mystery. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments.
All right, guys. Whoa, too big. All right. I have 4 small clips that I'm going to try not to talk so much, but like, I'm all fired up about this case. He had to have played a part in it. He had to have. Like, you didn't, and like owning one of these cars, no, you didn't know it was gone. You know what? Oh God. All right. So David's manager, Josh Marshall, took to TikTok. And this is from News Nation. We all know News Nation. He took to TikTok allegedly, and everyone's been reporting about it. And he went on to like some person's channel that, like, wasn't big. Like, I have a fucking minute channel compared to like all of these people, but she had like a small channel. He could have went on to bigger channels that were talking about it. And this is the 4 or 5 minute blurb about it. And we will see.
Piece, also the host of the Outlier podcast, and she joins me now live. It was a really good break, you being able to connect with Josh Marshall to get him to confirm these things. Did he say anything else? Did he mention anything about where his client David is right now?
No, Ashley, and truthfully, I saw these comments on TikTok on this random video. I could not believe it, and I'm thinking to myself, it's been was him, and these messages were authentic. So I messaged him, not really expecting to get a response. And he did write back, and he just confirmed that it was him, and he just stood by his statements, and that was it. So it really wasn't much of anything. However,
I hope they read it.
I still am kind of in shock, because the first time you speak out, why would you clap back, in the comment section of a random
In
TikTok video.
TikTok
I
on like
do
a
feel
small
like he possibly
channel.
has consulted with a
Hey,
lawyer,
Crafty
which is
Chris.
maybe why he didn't bring Celeste's name up at all. And he didn't really say anything else besides the denial of knowing anything. So who knows? But I was just really surprised.
I really hope they go over what he
I
said.
was happy to get that clarification that meant
Oh,
not
wait.
him as manager.
Hold
so it was
on.
interesting to hear him say, "Hey, hold it, that's not my car." You know, the jury's out on that, but I'll take him at his word for now until we know otherwise. I want to ask you about this mystery email. This is just so curious, though. It's an email that apparently was sent to Josh Marshall, and it's sent by, quote, adults in Celeste's life after her final runaway in 2024. Or one of her runaways in 2024. The day after the email, Celeste returns home, almost like, go on, but they're on to us. You better go home, right? Is proof that the email was sent. Do you know at all if the email was received?
Well, according to Josh Marshall, he did not get any type of email. And this is why this denial. He was just like, no, I never received any email. I have no knowledge. And this statement was actually made on a live stream that I did. And I think what happened was it just got clipped by different TikTokers and different content creators. And the headline here was, you know, Josh Marshall knows. What does Josh Marshall know? And he's like, what are you him?
So right now, and I'm not going to bore you guys with trying to find it. I got the wrong clip. Anyway, so Josh Marshall took to TikTok for like I said, like a smaller creator who was doing reporting on it on TikTok. And he essentially says, can you guys make sure you guys have the facts before you slander me? I don't even live in California. I've never had a car there. I don't really know this kid. I have a wife and 3 children. One of my daughters is 14 years old. And they're hurting from all of this. And if you guys could just make sure that you're not speculating and alleging things on my name, that would be great. That was essentially what he said, right? And he's like, I've never had a car in California. I've never lived there, blah, blah. But that's not what the landlord said. The landlord said that he and David lived there together, and the neighbors said much of the same. Maybe he lived there, maybe not all the time, but when he had to be in California, he stayed there because he was leasing it for $20,000 a month. I'm going to put it out there. I don't think that managers put houses and properties, rented properties in their names. I would think that they would put it in like Interscope Records name, not their name. Right? Right. He said he worked 95% remotely. Well, I mean, don't we all? But like, you still go there, right? You still like go to Cal. I don't believe that either. I don't believe that you're the manager of people from Interscope Records and you work remotely 95% of the time. I don't believe that. I mean, it could be true. This is all alleged. Like, but he's saying that I had nothing to do with this, and he didn't mention Celeste. He didn't say he doesn't know who she was. He said that I never received an email. But at this point, I'm side-eyeing any person that has to do with this little girl's family. We're gonna get there. But right. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going with this. I know I'm probably confusing you guys, but
clarify this. However,
you guys
know,
we're all here on Sunday, so
to my source, the private investigator that we both know, and he's like, nope, I stand by this. I see it right here. I'm looking at it. And not only that, Ashley, he said that his source behind this email sent it to law enforcement, and now it's in law enforcement's hands. So, I mean, it's definitely, yeah.
Oh, so if it happened, then
she said here. But
I mean, I'll give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't get the email, right? But like I said the other day, I don't believe in coincidence. Like, okay, so this family friend sent you an email, and within 24 hours of sending the email, the little girl goes back to her house on her own accord. Make that when she had been a runaway or left the house and hadn't come back and she was missing for all that time. And it just so happens when someone supposedly emails you that the email is now in authorities' hands, that she showed back up. His email server, if it was like an Interscope Records email server, that will come back that he actually opened it. I work with this all day long. Like it logs of everything, and they probably have a disclaimer like this is public knowledge. Other people can look at your emails, like, and you can see coming in and going, right? Things that are hung up in the spam filter. If it wasn't read, maybe they'll find out that this person sent him an email. Yeah, exactly. Maybe they'll find out that the email was sent and he never opened it. But it's just kind of convenient, right? Even still, then speak on the 5% when you exactly. Drew, preach exactly, honey. Shay's buck and the matching tattoos. That's so they can get around that by saying like, oh, a lot of celebrities in the industry have those. That's true. But do all of his Discord children have them? I don't know. I got questions.
Sides. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be unbiased and open-minded, because when it comes to this case, Ashley, I am baffled. My mind is racing every day, and the police owe us nothing. They owe us nothing, and unless we're in danger, unless the public is in danger. So I'm grateful that they're speaking out. However, it seems like more of the same, just in different words.
I'm with you. Lauren Conlon, thank you for this. Great job. And I look forward.
So that was that. Whoa, too close, Amy, too close. All right. So this one, okay. So do you remember when who did that? Where does a 14-year-old, right? Bro, okay, so I was like 16. Hey, Bruce the Moose. Good to see you, baby. So I listen, and I've told you what a little wild child I was as a kid. Not so much at like the younger ones, but like from 16 on, definitely. Who does that to a kid? They should be held responsible as well for like fucking up a body, right? Because you're not old enough at that age. You're not old enough to consent for anything. That's why when you're going to the doctors, your parents have to go with you because they have to consent for the doctor to see you. Like there's a reason for that. And I got my tongue pierced when I was 16. Okay. I did. I've had a lot of things pierced, but I had my tongue pierced 16. My mom had to take me because not even people that like went to houses would touch me because they were afraid of liability. What if this girl goes home and her mother or dad freaks out and I get charged, right? No one would allow it. So she had to bring me to some place downtown Boston on, I think it was like Tremont Street, where nurses like did it, and it was great. The whole healing process sucked, but my mother had to go because no one would touch me. They were afraid. So who does this person have coming to the house, or where are they going that these people are marking up children that are not theirs? Bruce. Hey, did you do a video after court today? Oh, that's to you, Robbie. All right. So now we talked about the family, okay? And like, how did you not go look for your child for 18 months, right? So we were told in the timeline that had come out, that was told from the family or from, I have my belly button still, only because it's an ugly scar and I'm just going to leave it. I only took it out when I was pregnant. And I have my ears done a few times, but I don't have any body piercings anymore. No, when I became an adult and like I had to go like get like a real adult jobs, they kind of frown upon like, lip rings and, nose rings, eyebrow rings, tongue rings. I had my labrae done, which I still have like a huge scar. My son would be like, "What's that hole?" In any case, we said, like, how do you not go looking for your child for 18 months? Like, you didn't see your child for 18 months and you didn't go look for her? Well, last night we found out maybe why. It turns out that a neighbor with a Nest Cam has footage of Celeste at her parents' home, September 8th, 2025, where she comes out of the parents' home and is fighting with the neighbors. And the reason why the neighbors knew it was Celeste was because they had seen the missing posters and they thought to themselves, "Oh, good, she's home. She's no longer missing. Like all's well." No, no, no. So she was visiting her parents' house. I'm going to go through the video of this. And then we'll stop and we can digest it together because again, she was visiting her parents' house as a 13 or 14-year-old girl. So it would have been her birthday. So she would have like just turned 14, right? And right. Yeah, crafty Chris ain't lying. Here we go. Look at this. You don't look for something, you know where it is. Exactly. They knew exactly where the fuck, and they didn't go pull her. Oh, they only cared when she turned up in the trunk. And I think it's kind of, I think, listen, I'm judging. The only time you looked or even cared to go and be like, "Oh, that's my daughter," was when she ended up dead. And you didn't call law enforcement. You contacted TMZ. I wonder why. I wonder why. What does TMZ do for articles and for exclusives? And you know, what do they think TMZ would do for an exclusive on a dead body in a Tesla that's 14 years old? I see dollar signs. I allegedly I wasn't there, but it's not. I feel like I felt like when I saw this last night, I felt the need to bathe from how disgusted I felt. Disgusted. So I'm gonna pull this one up. This is from Banfield. She's not the best. I don't like, but she is easier than other content creators because content creators get a little grouchy. All right, here we go, kids.
Brand new video of Celeste Rivas, as we've come to know it, has surfaced. Video was recorded at the home of Celeste's parents in Lake Elsinore, California, exactly a year ago, or a year before her body was found in the trunk of a car belonging to the rising music star named David. And that her family hadn't seen her since. But this new video was recorded by a Nest camera on September 8th, 2024, which would make that 4 months after she ran away. To TMZ say that it shows her arguing with people who had pulled a prank on her. Take a look.
Upset. Oh, here we go.
Let me talk real quick. Okay?
Listen.
You gonna let me talk? I know you talk. No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? Stop the door and you tripping.
Oh my god.
Not because you tripping. Move the out of here.
You ain't do shit. You ain't do shit. You better get over there. Get your over there, little girl.
Just by the very.
So there's more to that video that I could find, but I'm not going to for time's sake. She is calling all of them the N-word. Now, apparently what happened was the people who gave this video to or released it on TikTok said that the little children that were hanging out with the people sitting outside that she was yelling at were doing the ding dong ditch joke. So they had gone up to the door, hit the doorbell, and ran away thinking it was funny. And apparently Celeste had enough and she went out and was yelling at these people. Now, in the other footage that you guys can find on the YouTubes, she mentioned, and I had to listen to it like 6 or 7 times because she says to one of them, "You're not going to let your woman talk?" So I was confused by that, but I'm not going to read into it because people are assuming, allegedly she may have been under the influence because it was the day after her birthday. But okay, so if the family is saying that she disappeared and they had not seen her since April 2024, April 4th, I think, or something. We'll just say April 1st. April, they said, we haven't seen her in 18 months. But now she's visiting 4 months later. So they knew exactly where she was living. They just condoned it. Remember how I was saying on Sunday that there are rumors, only rumors, allegedly, that her family or people in her family were taking money kickbacks to prevent them from calling the authorities or coming to get her or. So apparently she wasn't like missing. They knew exactly where she was, and she was visiting the family. And to boot, we were told that her father was not in the country. It was said by a family member or a family of the friend, a friend of the family. God, I can't even talk. That the father had been deported, and that they were all, it turns out they're El Salvadorian. And the father was there that night because the people who posted the video were the people outside that she was yelling at, and said that they felt bad for yelling at a child, and they went over to apologize, and that Celeste's father answered the door, extremely unaffected by what happened, and told them to forget about it. No need to worry. She's only visiting. They thought that she may have been like in a program, or maybe she went to go live with somebody else, which she did, but it wasn't a family member or anything like that. She was living with her adult male boyfriend who just turned 14. Let's keep going. My stomach's turning.
Dates of this video seems to prove that Celeste visited her family at least once after she ran away for the last time. But a year and a half after the final missing person report was filed, her body was discovered in a frunk. That's the front trunk of David's Tesla. It was just 3 weeks ago. It was discovered, learning what's been going on behind the scenes of the investigation. The LAPD's and commanding officer released a statement saying that the body of Celeste Rivas Hernandez was likely in the frunk of the Tesla for a long time before it was
Thank you for joining.
According to Captain Scott Williams,
You
quote,
Bruce with you?
"We know for sure that Celeste Rivas Hernandez died and someone placed her body in the front trunk area of David Burke's Tesla. We know that the Tesla had been parked at the location from which it was towed for several weeks. So it is very likely Celeste Rivas Hernandez had been dead for several weeks prior to her body being discovered." I know
what the family did tell us, or SF Investigates Stephen Fisher had said, like, I don't think she was missing. Like, she wasn't like abducted, where like no trace of her was had. She had been in contact with her brother, I think. Like, that's how he knew that she was gone for X amount of time. So she was at least in like texting contact with her family. That's what was said by them. But she's visiting them. So they knew well that she lived somewhere else with her famous boyfriend in the Hollywood Hills. Now, living where she was living, she probably was like, fucking score. Like, this is great. I'm at the Hollywood Hills. I don't have to deal with this bullshit. I don't got to deal with my parents. Like, I don't got to deal with any of this. But the parents are sitting here trying to say X, Y, and Z. Do they think that like people weren't going to like rat on them? Whether this is, if this is even, I believe this because it's her. It's the same voice that we heard when she was streaming with David, and she had made the child grape comment, and there was other voicemails we heard of her. It sounds exactly like her, and it's just like so sad.
no, you don't think it's a big deal because it's like, yeah, we know all that, right? Not really. Like, this is the police finally confirming it, and they haven't said a thing. But that really does track with our reports for this Tesla. And they show that neighbors had called police about that car on August the 26th. Police responded the next day and ticketed the hours between each of the tickets they put on there. And after 3 visits, then they can tow the car. The second ticket came September 3rd, and the Tesla was finally towed out. Police were involved for a week and a half. Neighbors who Tesla close to abandoned on that side road. Registered in David's legal name, David Burke. The 20-year-old singer has not been arrested, nor has he been named a suspect. But his friends confirmed to TMZ last week that he was indeed in a romantic relationship with a 14-year-old girl.
Imagine that.
Celeste. Social media posts indicate they may have even known each other since she was 12.
Imagine like
And maybe
co-signing your friend dating children.
As their relationship, it would be premature for me to say anything. We are looking into to be determined is Celeste's cause of death. The medical examiner has deferred a cause while they await the toxic results. But one thing they have determined was not pregnant when she died.
Thank you for watching.
All right. That was that one. Oh God. What's going on with StreamYard? Ah, here I am. Hi. Hi, it's me. So I probably have one more video and then I'm gonna let everybody go. Thank you for everyone who has stuck with me this hour. I have one more video that's kind of like an updated thing that we did not get to discuss on Sunday. That is new. Now, there was someone who called into I think it was a TikToker. I'm not sure though. Don't hold me to that. Maybe it was a YouTube channel. Her by the name of Jamie. And neighbors, wait, what does it say? The neighbors got to be happy that David doesn't live there. Yeah. Prior to 4 a.m., they said in the interview. Yeah. Yeah. And like, do I believe that a lot of people had access to that home? Yeah, I do. I believe it was a party home. It probably people going in and out. Do I think that a lot of people had access to his car? I mean, maybe. But like, do you like, I know that we're not like rich and famous or whatever, but like if you have $100,000 car, even though he treated the thing like dirt, right? He treats himself like dirt. So like, don't expect much with like other things. But are you really going to give all these people access to your $100,000 car? Like, I don't know. And that's the thing too, like, was that like a reason why he put the body in the car and and put it down the street like within a 5-minute walking distance? How I think, okay, let's just say he did do it, right? And he put the body in the trunk and he did all the thing is too is like, hi Dave from the Laborers Union, hi honey. Let's just say that, okay, dismemberment is like, it's like using a knife. A knife is very personal, right? Dismembering someone is very personal. Very personal. So, like, one of your homies dismembering her and putting her in your trunk, or you in a fit of rage and psychosis, allegedly dismembering her and putting her in your trunk in a panic. Like, right? Like, you see where I'm going with that? Like, it's just a very personal, violent act, right? And if his songs are true, like the foreshadowing of what happened to poor 14-year-old Celeste, he said In my mind, you died. I didn't regret it. I hate you. That's like a sign of like hating, right? And people can go into psychosis with mental illness often, right? So I was watching a psychiatrist the other day. She didn't diagnose him, but what she did say was the dude could have had something like borderline personality disorder, where like you value someone and devalue them so quick in like huge emotions that stuff like this can happen because you're unbalanced, right? Like who, right? Exactly, Drew. Right. Right. Like you like it's kind of like my son with his cat, right? Like it not this is like a weird he loves the cat so much. He just wants to like, I want to love you and hug you and squeeze you. And he hurts her because he like loves her so much. He wants her to play. Right. And I have to be like, you got to be gentle. But he's so excited and like loves her so much. He just wants to like hold her and squeeze her. And so like I have a hard time thinking that someone else would do that. Like, unless you're like a serial killer, most of the serial killers didn't dismember, right? If you look in like other cases, like Taylor Business, she dismembered someone, but she's a fucking psycho, right? She was on drugs and she did a ton of shit. There's people that dismember their parents, family members, wives, husband, but it's always like a very intimate setting unless you are a Taylor Business, which we have all, if you don't know who Taylor Business, you are doing yourself a disservice. She is quite a watch. I mean, she is fascinating. She's like, what the wild, okay? But she's like a psychopath. Like there's something wrong with her. You can tell in her face that there's something wrong with her. Like the fact that someone home with her that night is wild, right? Yeah. So there's that. People are doing the whole like, but the thing is too is like, and this is another thing too. If he was set up and framed, why would you dismember the body and put it in your own trunk? Why wouldn't you just like bring her out to a street in Hollywood where I'm sure people OD all the time and leave her? Right? I think that if whoever did this, not sure who it was, it's not looking good for David Burke. However, whoever did it, I think that they were in like a fucking panic, right? And their brain wasn't working to full capacity. And they thought, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it down the street. Someone's going to think that she was taken from whatever. No one knew she lived there except for you and the family and your friends who thought that. And then went on tour and then couldn't move the car. He could move the car probably from his app down the street and take a little corner and it parked itself. But the neighbors are saying that car had been there for weeks with her body in it since he was going on tour shortly after the car started being there. And like, if you were going on tour, why wouldn't you park your $100,000 Tesla in the 3-car garage? Listen, I pay attention to detail. What does Bad Dazzler say? She did at least take a piece of him with her. Right. Yeah, they're just so like, pay attention to, I've been listening to true crime and all this for so long that like the proof is in the pudding, right? A lot of people that commit crimes like this think that they're smarter than everybody else around them, that they're going to be the exception, that they're not going to get caught. I mean, I will say the actual whatever happened to her actually happened to her that they can't figure out. Well done, right? Like, I'm not well done. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that they can't figure out. But you literally made so many tracks, so many songs. You let everybody know in your Discord that you were on camera with this girl doing streams. You literally you made all the bad mistakes. And like, people knew about you. People tried to expose him. Other YouTubers tried to expose him, and his lawyers were doing cease and desist. And they were like, nope, nope, no. Oh, hey, Kevy Kev. It's good to see you, honey bunny. It's good to see you. They all these lawyers were coming for him, and he lived in Egypt. And he knew that his flavor was children. And apparently other people did too. But the thing is that you're only as sick as your secrets, right? And if everybody around you knew but didn't say anything because they didn't want to get involved, I'm a huge, huge, huge proponent for if you see something, say something. Especially when it comes to children, if it comes with women being hit or, you know, kids being mismanaged, if your children have kids that are looking real homely coming to school, inquire. Like, do you need help? Like, what's going on? Is there any way I can help you? Like, don't be like little kids' friends, but be, you know what I always like to say? I try to be the adult that I needed when I was a kid. I try to be that adult now because everybody needs somebody. And apparently these people are just fucking up. Okay. Especially her. So, okay. So my next clip before I go is apparently a YouTuber had a woman by the name of Jamie come on her program, and she said, my son dated Celeste, and she had a troubled home, and he said that her and the mother didn't get along and that she wanted out. And he knew that it was Celeste in that car because everybody knew that she was living in the Hollywood Hills with a grown fucking man. Shame on you. Shame. With a grown man, and that she had a better life out there. And he knew that she had a troubled home because everyone's like, oh, maybe she came from a good home. I mean, people who run away from the house, like I was wild. There was nothing wrong with my house. There was nothing wrong with my parents. My mother, you guys know, Nana is like the best, right? But I was wild. I wanted to be out with my friends. I wanted to like be drinking and going to bars. And so it had nothing to do with my mother. It had everything to do. My social life was more important than doing the right thing until I was in my 20s, so I get the urge to be that way. But if my mother ever found out that I was 14 living with a 20 Nana, I can't even, my mother would have freaked the fuck out. She would have. She just thought that I was like, I remember my mother being like, I don't know how old I was. I was younger than 21. But she, texted me, called me, and she's like, I don't know where you are, but it's 3 a.m. The only thing open after 3 a.m. is emergency rooms and legs in emergency rooms. And she's not lying, right? We used to go to after parties, and I digress. But just because someone is a wild child and likes to do that, goes that route, does not make them have a troubled home. But a lot of times, a lot more than not, a lot of these children that do this type of thing are trying to escape from something, right? That's been my experience with, cases that I've watched and followed. And when the same type of thing happens, or people that I've known growing up, a lot of my friends that were in DYS had really problematic homes and ended up in DYS. And it's really sad. So it's just, so anyway, the boyfriend comes forward and talks about Celeste and his experience with her and what she told him while they were together. Apparently, Celeste, even at a very young age, knew that she had to or needed to find a guy or somebody to cling on to get out of her parents' house because it was like hard for her. And so here we go. Our last clip. We're going to watch TMZ to take us out. Here we go. Ah, shit.
Live, we are learning more about Celeste Rivas, the teenager. Her body remains were found in the Tesla of singer David. The investigation is still going on. The certificate came out yesterday. The medical examiner has deferred.
Yeah, I was definitely
the
in
cause and
fields
manner
dying
of death.
somewhere.
So, well, just
Like
to underscore, we don't know if
100%.
this was a
Taking
murder, a
shrooms.
homicide of any sort,
Right.
or
I
whether
do
it
not
was an
condone
OD,
it, but this
natural causes.
this channel
They
is
just
not for
haven't
children.
said, and they said they don't know yet.
Right. But we are from some video that we got, and also speaking to an ex-boyfriend
Right.
who
I
lives
agree.
still in the same area where Celeste grew up. But he spoke to one of our producers. His young man's name is Damien. Says that he and Celeste started dating when he was either 13 or 14. But he says that she did talk about some trouble at home. And I don't know how much of this is typical teenager or is there something especially different that was going on there. But this is
I
what
was that
Damien.
teenager.
We should just
I
say
want to
we
be
have
out.
edited some specifics
But
out
this
because
ain't
we
it,
have
I
not
don't
been
think.
able to confirm them, and
Right.
and we don't want to do this. But he is talking generally. By the way, he's sitting next to his mother.
She said how her mom didn't treat her well or whatever, and she didn't like
This is the
where she was
ex.
at.
Did she talk at all about
And his
the
mother.
relationship with her parents?
Kind of. She just said they were mean or whatever. She didn't like them.
What is your last memory that you have of Celeste?
We were at PE, and she told me and my friend that she was running away, and she said it was because of her parents, and she was like joking about it, and she was like happy, like joking like she always was, and like it didn't seem real because like she was like playing around, joking about it, and the next day she wasn't at school, and like that's
Wow.
the last time I saw her.
Yeah, so she had run away, as you know, and we've talked about several times. She ran away in January of 2024, came back, and police got her in February in Hollywood, and then she ran away in March of 2024. Now, we're told
That's
over
not
whether
true.
she came back after
Well,
that.
well, yeah. So it was interesting
That's
too.
not
His
true.
interview. I mean, that matches up with what we're hearing from law enforcement that that she had some type of troubled home life, and that was the reason for her running away. Obviously, and we
I'm
got
pausing
this
this.
video yet.
But like I was side-eyeing the family as of Sunday. I don't know if I'm like freezing and stuff. I apologize if I am. But I was side-eyeing the family as of Sunday because why would you contact TMZ saying that that's your daughter? Were you looking for money? Because why wouldn't you just call the LAPD and be like, I think that's my daughter. She has a boyfriend that's famous named David. And I saw this. I saw what? Like you contact TMZ? This is why the whole rumor that the family may be getting kickbacks to keep her there is coming like more and more believable, or like it's gross. I really hope that didn't happen. I hope that rumor is not true. But like you contact TMZ and tell them that that's your daughter, but you don't call LAPD to let them know, because Harvey is the one that called LAPD to let them know that he heard from the family member and they think that it's their daughter or whatever, and that her name is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Harvey's the one that told them. Right, exactly, Bad Dazzer. Right, exactly. Oh yeah, I know there's not many people in here, but if you could like and make sure you're subscribed and do all the YouTubey things, leave comments, tell me all your thoughts on this. I know it's a little hard in the chat. If you're on the replay crew, I'd love to hear ya. Exactly. I mean, it's a little bit. It's same side of the coin, right? Turn the other way. A little bit. It's like gross. So you're telling me that they spoke enough English to call TMZ and let them know that they thought that it was their daughter in the back of the Tesla, but they couldn't call LAPD. I understand that they are, scared of deportation and all that kind of stuff, but like as a mother, if I was in this, if I lived in Italy and I was there illegally, I would and my son was gone and I thought that he was in the back of a Tesla. Like, would you even care at that point? Just like whoever unalived her and panicked may have just like thrown her in the back of the car and put her 150 yards away from the rented home in a panic, you're not thinking, right? So like if I thought that was Kay, I would have been dialing for dollars. Anyone who would fucking listen, anybody. I'd call ICE myself. What? I just like, I can't. I know different parenting styles for different people. I get it, but this isn't a parenting style. This is fucking neglect and a shame.
Yesterday, which was kind of shocking because we thought maybe the last time her mom had seen her or her parents had seen her was one of the last time she had ran away.
Right. In spring.
In the spring.
Right.
2024.
So we spoke to a neighbor directly in an apartment next door to where he lives.
Is the woman you see there? She was arguing with the neighbors because someone had.
There I am. Hello.
Some kids were.
Yeah. So
doing
the context of the video is she's in the apartment building, had ding dong ditched her house, so she was going over there to confront the kids. And at the time, they didn't. The neighbors didn't really think anything of it. They left. They were talking. They're like, "Oh, that was the girl from the missing posters," because the family had gone up and down the block with the missing posters back in April.
So wait a minute. So the idea here is that she came back in
September 2024
to her family.
Yeah.
So Anakin, come over here for a second.
We don't know if she was back there staying with them or she just went back to visit.
But she was clearly right next door to her family home on September 8th.
Way after the last time they said that they saw her.
To Celeste's mother before she was even identified because we got a tip. She only speaks Spanish. Anakin speaks Spanish, and you talked to her.
Yeah.
What we reported was the last time the family saw her was March of 20.
Because that's what they said.
March of
April. Sounded good.
So I never got a specific month from her. All I know is that she said that she hadn't seen her for a couple of years until news of her death.
A couple of years.
Certainly was.
Well, 18
a couple of years.
Months. It was.
She was there in April.
She was right next to her.
It is exactly 1 year before the body was discovered.
Exactly a year.
To the
September
8th. You know, the neighbors told us that they thought that she
This is her and him and one of his lives.
But it seems like she was going back and forth.
It seems that way, and it's different from the initial report, which was
that she was
the final time she was
Hollywood.
seen was in March, and she went to Hollywood, and that was it.
Right.
Hello, my name is Tori. I'm from Mississippi, and I really hate how there's so much concern for her now that she's gone, and not when she was gone running around with who knows what. Now, the family is just as much to blame because of their negligence.
Get it.
And with so much information coming out, I'm really not sure who to believe. But what I do know is those parents should have taken more concern when their daughter was underage and not home. Where were you?
They did call the police. We know that.
They did call police. We know that family members were looking for her and taking steps to try and find her. But yeah, it was clearly a troubling time at home.
Hold on. All right. So that was the last video. But were they looking for her? They knew where she was. I mean, she was visiting the family home. She was visiting them and living with her boyfriend. She met this man at 11. It was going on dates with him at 12, 13, turning 14. She went missing at 13, living with David in the Hollywood Hills. She turned 14 at that video we just saw with the neighbors, the altercation with the neighbor. She had turned 14 the night before. And then come 1 year full circle, she's found dead in the back of David's Tesla the day after her birthday on September 8th of 2025. And we are at almost October 1st. And no one has been named a suspect. No one, right? They knew his name. Well, the thing is too, honey, they knew who he was because remember, again, they had the friend reach out to Josh Marshall, his Interscope Records manager, and said, "Hey, here's a missing poster. Celeste is underage. She needs to come home." And she showed up 24 hours later. I don't believe in coincidence, right? So like they knew who he was. And if she's going and visiting, you don't think that she's like bragging like, "Oh, I'm living in the Hollywood Hills with my boyfriend." They knew he was famous, right? Maybe they didn't know the exact house, but over all that time, still in contact with your family and stuff, you're not going to like get mad at your boyfriend and be like, "I live here, come get me," and then be like, "No, don't come." Like there's just so many like girl behaviors that like your best friend doesn't know. Like there's like my sister, one of my oldest sister, and me and her are like this, okay? And she knows everything about me. Everything. When I've gone on dates, I'll be like, "All right, I'm sending you my location just in case I end up missing." Like that's my homegirl. She knows everything. There's not one person in her life that didn't know everything about her. When she's messaging her friends, being like, "I want to break up with him," like, airing out her dirty laundry to her friend. No one knew. Like I said, there's the rumor that the money that the family was getting money from David to keep them quiet and from preventing them from coming to get her. Maybe they were poor. A family isn't blameless, but you have to remember they've lost their daughter. So you're right. Right. No, I know, honey. I'm just like, I feel like, and that's true. That's definitely true, Footy. And I completely understand. I just don't like, but I don't understand. Right. And I think that's why I'm trying to like talk. It's like talking to friends here. We're trying to talk out a situation that just seems so avoidable. And I don't know their circumstances, and I don't know how they lived. And they probably did live in poverty and they could have used the money. But like at what cost, right? Maybe they didn't know better. Okay. There's that too. But the little girl ended up dismembered in the back of a Tesla of her adult boyfriend that they knew of. They knew he was picking her up in that Tesla for the movies when she was 12 and he was like 18 as an adult. And like if my 12-year-old son was like, "Mom, I'm going out tonight with this 18-year-old girl. She just graduated from high school." I'd be like, "The fuck you are." Right? What does Drew say? Active shooter, but they just a little quiet at the wrong times right now. So I just have quiet. Right. I just like, we don't even know that any of this is all speculation. David Anthony Burke has not even been charged with anything. I'm judging. I think that you weren't here, Footy, when I decided when I let everybody know that I was judging tonight, and I am judging, and I'm being extremely harsh on these parents because I just don't understand it. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to like see. I'm trying to see. And they did lose their daughter, and they probably didn't think that that was ever going to be a thing. And maybe they thought, well, at least I know that she's somewhere safe, right? And that's sad, right? Because I don't know, like, I don't know how Caden's going to be as a teenager or a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. I don't know what type of kid he's going to be or what type of horrible things I might go through, right? I have addiction issues. And my mother went through it with me really bad, and I put her through the ringer. I'm just like, I don't understand, and I'm trying to understand. And talking it out with you guys, often we can all come up with different reasons why. I'm not trying to be mean, and you're right. Thank you for the reminder that this family did lose their daughter, and they're probably feeling guilty and whatever. But my thing is like, what if they're not? Like what the only victim is Celeste. That's the only victim. She's a victim, apparently, of a troubled home with parents who, out of sight, out of mind, maybe didn't want to be parents. Doesn't say that she has a sister and brother, We don't know what their life is like. No one's spoken. They didn't go to the police. They went to TMZ. They're lying about the last time they saw the girl, even though we did know that she was in talks with at least a family member or two. People, the only victim is Celeste. Right, Calypso. Thank you. Thanks, buddy. I thought I stepped on a nerve with you. I'm not trying to I'm just trying to talk it out with friends. Like, we all can come up with different things. There are some things that I don't think of that you can, and you just kind of brought me down to earth, because what if they were like, well, at least I know she's safe somewhere and she's not out in the street, and then this happens. So you have a point, right? But I'm judging. I'm fucking judging. At 12, you're supposed to be wearing mom's right? And their high heels and thinking that you are going to be the girl that takes off for the boys someday. You're not supposed to be the girl that's taking off with the boys. And her fucking Instagram handle when she's 11 or 12 was Blunt Lover 0907. What? Blunt, listen, I've done my fair share of a lot of things. Okay. I've done a lot of things, a lot. I was not smoking weed at 12. I wasn't. I didn't know what it was. I'm glad you had a support system. I had my hubby, my family distanced themselves because it wasn't really well. I later on in life, my mom tried until I dropped out of high school. And then my mom's a black belt in Al-Anon and was like, I love you, but I can't enable you. And so she stopped enabling me. And I was that girl that she just wanted to make sure was safe. And so I keep in contact with her until I could get my shit together. I don't believe in enabling kids either, but you can't enable a 11, 12-year-old. I decided to drop out of, hail ass out of fucking school and do my own thing, got my own apartment. Before I was 18, I made all my choices by myself. My mother did everything she could until she couldn't. And then was like, okay, you go do that. I love you, but I'm going to be over here. Right. So you don't want to enable kids, but Celeste was a child. She's a child. She's a baby. She's I'm not saying play with Barbie dolls, but you're right. She should be putting on a shit ton of makeup and pretending to be 21 or dancing in TikToks or something. It just seems really, I'm not going to call her fast. I'm not going to call her she thinks she can. No, I think that she was escaping something, whether she was trying to escape herself, that home, whatever it was. Celeste is the only victim here. I don't have I do have sympathy for the family to an extent. I need to come out. I need to hear more facts as they come out. And, we can all change our opinion about any one of these characters at any time. But right now, with the information that we have been told, it feels gross. It feels absolutely gross. I get it. Yeah. It seems like it happened in plain sight, but I don't know. Yeah. She was in plain sight. It just seems like everybody kind of turned their blind eye. I was doing coke at night and smoking weed and drinking, but I could always go home too. I was going out running amok, but my mother was like, I'd rather you here than out, whatever. And so I was always welcome home. If she'd be pissed at me if I didn't come home for 2 days or 3 a.m, but she would rather me home. And my mother did her best, but I'm not. This is the thing too. I know maybe people back in the day used to be like, oh, Amy's wild. It's all her. It's all Nana's fault. No, it was not Nana's fault. But Nana did everything she could to try to get her thumb on me. Yeah, I think that there's we were talking about the tattoo artist. The tattoo artist should have to pay some type of consequences for marking a child. All his runners and handlers, managers that knew if that guy, it comes with forensics that man did receive the supposed real email. So SF Investigates says he has a copy of it. So, that email that he did read it, and that's why she went home within 24 hours, lock him up. Throw away the key. He has a 14-year-old daughter. What if that was your daughter, sir? I'm not saying you did anything. I wasn't there. But like, you have a 14-year-old daughter, and a 14-year-old was just found dead in your client's Tesla. You know, and imagine what bag of dick he must feel like if he did know what was happening with that little girl and turned a blind eye. Is that why he's having a hard time feeling guilty? We don't know. Everything here is alleged. No one's been charged. No one is a person of interest. These are just all the information we have coming in, and we are all able to change our minds at any times as new information comes through. We do speculate here. If you don't like speculation and talking about hard things, maybe you can come to a different show. But I'm gonna get going. I have to get my little guy down. It's 9:30. It's a little late. But I will see you guys on Sunday for True Crime Coffee Time with Amy Boston at 10 a.m. on Sundays, Eastern Standard Time. If you're here, make sure you like, subscribe, and have your notifications on just in case we do random lives talking about true crime and unsolved or recent cases that may or may not be unsolved. Thanks, guys. Love you. Oh, hey, Natalie. Bye, guys.